So I promised I wasn't going to buy another S-Color brand phone, and what have I got in my hand? I have an S-Color brand phone. Now if anybody saw my review of that S-Color one that I had last year, might have been, you know, it was a cheap phone. It was kind of like a clone of a Huawei, but what it offered wasn't, you know, bad for the price that I paid for it, and it looked quite good. But it was then reported, not only by me, by my brother who I gave it to, and also a number of people made comments that there was some kind of malware on that phone. So what we had to do was we had to try and root it with either KingRoot or KingoRoot, I can't remember, and then we used the stubborn Trojan remover, and I think it got rid of it for my brother, but yeah, I was basically telling people just to stay away from the S-Color because I didn't know if they all would have the same issue. So why did, and also in my comment section I was complaining and telling people don't buy, don't buy. So why did I buy one? Well, I mean, I'll tell you the main reason was that I had 200 reals and I wanted to buy a phone to review, and the one that would seem to me was the obvious choice was not the obvious, the only choice really for my budget. But my wife's got all my money was this S-Color. So this is the S-Color, and it's the L100, and this is a one of these, well, you can see what kind it is. It's like one of these tough type phones. It has got you know, it's quite thick, and it is meant to be for taking a battering and say if you're outside and you know, using maybe at the work site, whatever. It's kind of copying the Cat type phones, albeit this is a lot cheaper. So this is the LR100. Let me just give you the specs because I have Antutu opened here. It is running a MTK 6735 octa-core processor. It has a Mali 400. Now it has a 5-inch screen that is 480 x 854, so it's not HD, but I'll get back to the screen in a minute. It's not bad. 1 GB of RAM, and this one has 8 GB of internal storage. The DPI is 240. Now it's saying it has front facing camera 5 and rear camera 12. Now I'm not 100% sure about that, and I will get into it in a minute as well when we talk about the Antutu. So as a tough phone, it actually looks the part. It feels not bad at all, you know, and it has a bit of a secret to it, and it might be something worth considering. As long as, look, I've had it going now for a couple of weeks, on and off. It's not shown me any malware or tried to download any programs, but I can't 100% definitively say that that will happen or it won't happen to you. So you know, it's 200 reals. Manage your expectations. The screen is actually really pretty good. It looks like it's a higher resolution screen than it is. I mean, it is really pretty decent, and I've put this kind of colourful wallpaper on just to try and give you a wee bit of an idea. It's a bit reflective, so but you know, for 200 reals, my god, you know what I mean, 200 reals is what, you know, it's less than $50, isn't it? What you're getting now is, you know, pretty decent, and a few years ago, I mean, this would have been high end. So I think the screen is pretty decent. Now what I will say most probably is it's not of any kind of you know, it doesn't have like Gorilla Glass or Dragon Trail glass. So if you're going to buy this, lazim put on a screen protector of some sort, because I'm sure it will get really pretty scratched. For the rest of it, I mean, it's basically plastic and bits of metal, as you can see here. Oops. It just looks the part. Micro USB headphone jack. Now let me see if I can show you here. Is it going focus? Yeah. Okay, so in order to get to the battery and your dual SIM, it does take dual SIM, you do have to unscrew these 4 screws. But actually, if you left it unscrewed, it clips in. So, I mean, I don't think it would fall off with normal use, but I've kept one in just to, you know, to, in fact, while I'm talking to you, let me just unscrew it, just so that I can show you what the selling point of this is really. So here we go, relatively easy. These have got 4 screws, so there you have access to the battery, and I'm going to remove it. Here we have dual SIM and SD card, so decent enough. I'm going to remove it because, and there you'll see the name, S color LR1. Okay, so this has a, yep, you're seeing it there, it's a 8000 mAh battery, so I mean it's pretty chunky. Now I charged this phone once and I've not been using it a lot, but it's been on all the time. It's a chunky battery, so that's hence the chunky casing. So it's been charged for about almost 2 weeks, and I say minimal usage, but it's, and I'll show you here when I clip this back on. He says, am I doing it right? It kind of snaps on a wee bit. Yep, I heard it snap. So it won't fall off, but I would recommend you probably just have to do the you know, lightly screw it back. Don't be very tight, because the you know, you might ruin the actual head of the screw. So I'm going to turn it back on again. So yeah, this has been going over 2 weeks, and you see it's pretty grubby. It's you know, fingerprints definitely is going to be a bit of an issue, but again, it's 200 reals. Let's just let it start up there. S color, you can see, sorry, the overhead reflection from the lights from, you know. I'm actually using my Sony RX100 in a slightly different way because I found a tripod, so it makes it easier to kind of do this. And I might just move it, shwaya. Okay. Right, that's it. So here we go. And no SIM detected. Let me just see what the battery is saying now. So the battery is looking like it's it's a quarter left approximately. So I mean, this has been 2 weeks since I charged it. So I mean, 8000 mAh battery is, you know, probably pretty decent. Android 5.1, it's not, I would prefer Marshmallow, to be honest with you, because it only has 8 GB of RAM, so sorry, 8 GB of internal memory, so you might be struggling if you use a lot of apps. But it did come preloaded with some things: Emo, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Messenger, Facebook Messenger. So it came with a couple of things. It does have Play Store, so that's installed straight away. So Antutu I did, and let it go through here, sorry, and I will show you the score. Okay, can you see that there? Okay, it's saying 51680. Now this is Antutu 4, so there is, I don't know why when I downloaded it, it didn't I think there's a slightly higher version of Antutu. I'm not 100% convinced that this is the right score. It just seems a bit high. The phone is okay, but it's not, you know, you will soon notice some lag using it. So I mean, I could be wrong, maybe it is 51,000, but I've noticed some of these phones can trick Antutu and will give it the you know, will give a higher score, so it might do that. I wouldn't say 100% that is you know, it is a true score, but you know, it has only got 1 GB of RAM and octa-core processor, so it's you know, it's not going to be horrendously fast, but really for kind of like day-to-day usage, if you're just using it for browsing and Facebook and you're outside working hard, then I mean, I could see it being, you know, it's that's the music. So I mean, better not, just for copyright. That's you know, it's loud enough, but it's mono speaker. The headphone was okay. To be honest with you, when I used these RHA wireless ones, it sounded fine, and I suppose you could download a EQ app and fiddle around with it. Again, for 200 reals, it didn't sound bad at all. Call quality was, you know, is nothing like my new phone, which I'll be reviewing maybe next week. It was a bit tinny, but you know, it was okay. And again, for 200 reals, I think that you really, you know, you can't really go wrong, especially if you're just looking for a phone with a big battery to last a bit longer. Dual SIM, perhaps you have a decent phone as your daily driver, and a lot of people here in KSA, we all have second phones, not necessarily maybe roaming cards from their home country. I think it's more than adequate for that, as long as we don't get the that malware problem, because if you start to see it and it's downloading like games and apps, it's almost impossible to stop. And if you can't root it, and it's not always possible to root, if you cannot root the phone either with an app, King or Kingo, or via your laptop, it's very difficult to get rid of. So you know, I'm hoping it doesn't have it, and this will be getting sold on to somebody, and if they have a problem with it, of course I will help them to you know, fix it. But let's just wait and see. If anybody has any comments about that, they can, you know, if they've experienced in malware. It's a real shame, because S-Color seem to have a number. I got this on souk.com, but they're all over the GCC, and you know, they're kind of cloning most designs, but they're not bad at all. They don't look bad, and the spec is, you know, for the price is not bad. But if it has this malware, yeah, that's a problem. Of course, the other problem is updating it, you know, so probably you're not going to get any faster than, or any higher, sorry, than Lollipop, which is 5.1. You might never see a update. Now, I have tried and I have looked online to see if S-Color have a website, and I haven't found anything, so I don't know. It's obviously a Chinese company, but it could be one of these companies that is just buying unbranded phones, because this here is like a sticker. So this could have come, you know, unbranded, and then companies are just putting their name on top of it. So that's most likely the case, I think. But there seem to be lots of different models, varying prices that are available in the GCC. So it'd be a shame if they're all crap and all have a malware. I hope not, for the people who are on a budget, you know, because, yeah, I mean, it's... check out online on KingSouk online, or souk.com have a few. There's a couple of other ones that have them from, I saw it from Abu Dhabi, and the name escapes me, but in the GCC you will see that that they have a bit of a presence. So, but I wouldn't hold my breath for an update. So yeah, I mean, what else can I say about it? You know, it's 200 reals, what you get, what you pay for. I mean, it's chunky. I think that battery is pretty decent. That might be enough to buy, that might be enough reason for people to buy. Yeah, I was going to talk about the camera, wasn't I? The camera, as I said before, I don't think, so I'm going to take a photo here of my headphone amp. It's saying it's 12 megapixels. Well, I don't, look, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to me like to be like, that's pretty noisy, and I'm very close to it. So look, it's probably 5 megapixels and 2 or something, 3 and 2, who knows. It's not a great camera, and you know, who's going to be buying it for the camera? Not me. You know, it's fine for a snapshot here and there. So yep, that's really all I want to say about it. It's 200 reals. Any questions? Any comments? Anybody having a problem with the malware? Try Kingo Root or King Root app. Download it. Try and see if you can get root. And then Stubborn, it's called from the App Store, Stubborn Trojan Remover. Try that. You can try that with any phone that you're having a problem with, but it seems to be a lot with these unbranded phones, or these cheap Chinese brands, that they seem to be, although I've heard even branded phones sometimes coming with a malware, and it is really quite difficult to get rid of because it's in the ROM, so it might not even be picked up by your antivirus, or if you use Malwarebytes it doesn't even pick it up. So, you know, I hope if people buy S-Color they didn't have the problem I had, and that some of the people who commented previous to my other review for S-Color. So that's it, the S-Color LR100 tough type phone, 200 reals. On the face of it, if no malware, it's a bargain just because of that battery, dual SIM, camera poor, call quality not that great, but if you put one of these tempered glass screen protectors on, yeah, I think it could be quite tough, and you could also use it as a weapon because it's quite heavy. So yeah, as long as you don't hit me with it. Okay, that's it. Any questions, comments, etc., etc., I will do my best to answer in a timely fashion. That's it. Bye.
Try